everyone, it's me Victoria and welcome back to my channel. What was I gonna say? I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh, I remember. Yeah, okay. Hey. It's me Victoria. I already said that. But yeah. So today on my channel I'm going to be talking about the reason behind or the reasoning because of whatever you want to say. Call it my song, which if you haven't heard that, you should definitely go check it out. It's in the comments down below. Check it out. In the comments down below, it's in the description box down below. There we go. So, you definitely have to go listen to the song before you hear this because it will all make sense if you hear it. So, hear it first. So let's just get started. So, Broken Pieces was about me, and I know that in the song I said, you don't feel loved, and you don't feel important and stuff like that, instead of me saying, I don't feel loved, or something like that. And the reason behind that, I will say in a minute. So the reason of the song, it would probably already kind of make sense by now if you've heard it, but a couple of months ago, maybe 4 months ago, I started feeling really down and not loved and, just, not important in life or to my family. And I, in the lyrics of the song, it says, feels like if, the whole world could just collapse on you, and, no one would care. And I'm definitely not saying that, my family made me feel this way. It wasn't anything they were doing. They weren't doing anything wrong or anything. This was just strictly coming from inside and how I was feeling, but had nothing to do with my family. Well, yes, it did, but it wasn't their fault. Yeah, if you don't know, because I think I mentioned it in a couple of videos back, I am the youngest child out of 6. Most of my family, half of it, there's 3 boys and 3 girls, and all the 3 boys, because the 3 boys are older than the 3 girls, and all the 3 boys are moved out and married, and, so, yeah, I'm the youngest by 5 years. My older sister, Ellie, which has been in a couple of my videos before, we're 5 years apart. Well, 4, but 5. Yeah. So that's a pretty big difference. There's, 2 and 3 years apart of the rest of the kids, and it's just 5 years. And I, because Ellie, is much older than me, and, she's almost going to be in college, and I'm just me, just a kid. So, now that she was getting older, and because we used to be extremely close, and we still are close, but, we just get older and blah, blah, yeah. So, I started feeling kind of lonely-ish, and not important in my family, and I felt like, what happens if I wasn't here? If I wasn't here, they'd probably still laugh, and they'd have fun, and they wouldn't even think about me, and, that was not me thinking of, ending my life or anything. I don't want it to come across like that, because it was not at all. Just because I wasn't feeling loved, I still love my life, so that was not at all. So I just want to clear that up so nobody thinks that was. That was just like, whatever could have happened, would they still miss me? Would they still care? Would they care? And again, that had nothing to do with them. And then I just, had really negative thoughts about that and thinking that I just wasn't important to this family. And so that's kind of the story, of the meaning of the song. But then, one night, we have a keyboard, and, I took that with me, my room, and I just sat down, and it was just like it all came off of me, just poured out into the piano, and came out. And I wrote it in 10 minutes. It was just bam, like that. It was extremely easy to write, and, I guess that, you've heard those stories of, people that have these songs, and, you tell them that it took, they tell you that it only took a few minutes to write because they have been having that in their heart and, just on their mind constantly, but they just never put it to song, if that makes sense. So that's what I did. I wasn't even thinking about writing a song. I like playing piano. I like to sing. I can't sing, as you can tell in the song. But I just thought I would play. And that just all came out and just playing. So before, I wrote the song and everything, I had told my mom about how I was feeling because, piece of advice, if you ever feel, that you don't feel loved or you don't feel important or, you have crazy thoughts in your head or whatever, go to your parents. I mean, if you don't have them, then, go to a sibling, an adult, pastor, whatever, and talk about it to them because it does help. With me, it did help, but I still felt that way. And, so talking does help, and, because when you don't talk about it, you're building it up in a bottle, and, you're not letting it out and just letting people know about it. And I was doing that, and that's not good at all. But it does help. It did help to tell my mom about it. But it was still there. And then I wrote the song, and it put my mom in tears, and it put my dad in tears, because I sung it for both of them. Sung, I think, for both of them. And they were saying that you should really put this on your YouTube. And I was like, no, because I don't like singing in front of people. I've done that once, and that was twice, but the real one was with my very good friend. My very good friend's sister was putting on this variety show, talent show, and we decided that we would sing, which I don't know why. She has a great voice, and then me. But we played on the ukulele. Don't Worry, Be Happy, which was wrong on. But that was it. And I felt a little bit more comfortable because she was right there with me. And then, a lot of the audience, I don't know what to call it, I knew and stuff like that. But to put out a song that I wrote, out in the world so can see, was a little bit harder for me. And, so I was like, yeah, no, I'm not putting that on YouTube at all. Thank you, but no. And they were like, just pray about it. And, and they both said that they think that it would help somebody. Because I'm not the only one that feels like this. And so I prayed about it. And of course, you know, God was answering those prayers, saying, Tori, don't use them. And I was like, so I just put it off a little bit more. And then I was like, you know what, I'm not going to say no to God. No one should ever say no to God. And so it took me multiple tries to get it because my voice kept squeaking because I was nervous or whatever. And I did it, and I was extremely nervous, but I did it. And yeah. So in the song, I said this earlier, how I was talking about how I said how I was saying you don't feel loved and all this, instead of me saying I. And the reason was that because I didn't want the song to focus on me and how, you know, strictly all about me and stuff like that. And because I knew that thousands, millions, billions of other people in the world feel the same way. So I was making it towards them and more for, you know, I don't really know how to explain it, but I just wanted the song to focus more on other people, even though it was about me and how I was feeling. I didn't want it to strictly sound about me, if that makes sense. So yeah, so that was it. So that's the whole reasoning behind my song and why I wrote it and all of that. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I really encourage you to, if you haven't, you know, listened to my song, to definitely do that because it is a good song, I would say. I mean, I've heard people say it was good. But, so I definitely would encourage you to go, but you don't have to if you don't want to. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and subscribe down below. There's a little red box that says subscribe, and then when you click it, it says subscribe, there's a little bell. Click that bell so you get post notifications. Notifications that I posted. So, yeah. I will see you guys next week, and don't forget to smile because you're all beautiful, and I love you all.